All right, folks. I don't know what to tell you about why there was no sound. But hey, Brenda, glad to see you here. Nux, good to see you. We, yeah, good to see you, Nux. Hope everyone is well and thriving. So we just finished the premiere of episode 235, and it bugs me what happened with the sound. Good to go on sound. Yeah, I figured that out. I don't know what happened with. Yeah, I'm still figuring it out. So just just have to bear with me. It's there's a lot going on here. Usually there is on something like this, there's one person who just handles the streaming stuff and one person who handles the camera and one person who does this thing. And I'm doing it all right now. So anyway, how is everybody doing? I don't know if we have any of the storytellers with us here in the live. If we do, please chime in. Thanks, Nux. Yeah, I think I figured out what happened, but it's me. I did it wrong. So what's going on with you guys? We heard from we had a meeting, we had a lunch meeting today with some some folks who are going to be helping us learn about cannabis stories, so that when we go to Denver in a couple of months, we will be better informed. So we're working on that. We are also working on Norfolk. We need some information for Pat. Pat, have you joined us, Pat? Voodoo, thanks for joining us. I feel like we've seen you here in the groups. They're in the live events before. I think Voodoo seems interesting. Uh, awesome to hear about buttons. Yeah, that's cool. Yay, buttons. Brenda, I am so freaking proud of you and thankful you are here. Love you. So, images I'm trying to, I always try to just, double up and do more. I want to, I do not understand. I don't understand why the sound. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna figure that out, and we'll have it sorted out next time. How about some feedback on the opening sequence? Assuming there was sound, there was urgent music and some kind of sound effects. Uh, Buttons is whiny because I'm seated because I'm at a computer and not loving on her. She has an ottoman seat so she can watch her daddy shop from the study. She's ready for one of us to stop our day and focus on her. Yeah. I know that life with dogs. Huh. I don't know why that didn't. Okay. I feel like I could almost just I could almost just sit here and do a little bit of referee and just let you guys go, let you let you talk. But surely you guys have some feedback. There's something that I noticed about the last story. I counted 3 times when you hear just a little bit of my voice. The first half a sentence of a question that that frustrated me. Thanks, Austin. You hang in there and get with us when you're done. 3 spots, and it's my fault. It is my fault for missing those little things. It's kind of a shame that the chat doesn't offer some sort of way to share pictures. That it kind of seems like it would be cool to see a picture of buttons while you're telling us about buttons. No, and I know it didn't take away from the story. I don't feel like it did, but it is uh, I don't know, a little careless. It is every story takes somewhere between 5 and 7 hours to edit, and that's usually divided between 2 people. There's a primary editor, and then I come in afterwards. And one of the things that I do is clean up things like that, and I make some tweaks because you know I'm high commander here. I get to do what I want, and so yeah, 20 people and 7 likes. Thank you, Deidre. Good job. Yeah, shit happens. That's it, Deidre. Uh, it's not that big a deal, but yeah, yeah, Deidre, I am, but I can also tell you that holy cow, the joy of meeting all of these people and learning about them and their loved ones and having the chance to help them, having a chance to pull just a little bit of value out of their loss. That's 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 a really big deal. So, hello, Joan. Thank you for joining us. We've talked before, right, Joan? Thank you, Deidre. Gee, Joan, I was thinking maybe you'd have a little more information than just yes. That that have we just talked here, or has there been an email exchange? We get quite a few emails every day. Well, I appreciate that. I enjoy it too. It is the doing the lives is weird. It's a thing that has really taken some work to get used to, and uh, it's weird sitting here talking to a camera like it's a person and finding a way to make that would have been an Anthony. To Anthony's family, thanks for courage and strength. I've watched the story 3 times today because I'm struggling. This story stopped me from jump because if my only daughter would had it had been would have been a boy, would have been an Anthony. Brenda, uh, when you're struggling, there's people you can reach out to. There's people in this chat that you can reach out to. You are welcome to reach out to me, but you can also reach out to plenty of other people that are in this group. And that's just this group. You have other people in your life who you can reach out to as well. To Anthony's mom and sister, I send them love and comfort. I'm so glad he lives on through organ donation. He will always be here. And that's why I love you, friend. And wonderful, Nux. Wonderful, Deidre. A kind hearted person with a lot of passion. I love doing this. I feel very blessed to get to do this kind of work. I feel very blessed to be in a circumstance where it's sustainable to do this. My wife and I are traveling all over the country, sometimes just me, sometimes both of us. And we're able to keep doing it, keep bringing more stories to the public and help be part of the solution, I hope. I've been blowing up my daughter's phone because tomorrow is her birthday. She's one of my successes and loves having her mom back. Nux says, Brenda, I've never spoken to you off of here, but you are my sister. I pray for you. I pray your sobriety. I pray for your sobriety every day and to know you are beautiful, loved, and worthy. So you got this, Brenda. You know, every day, you just day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, you got this. Deidre, amen. In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. So we're all here supporting each other. Thumbs up, folks. It is there's this wonderful network of support that's happening within this group. It was never it was never anything I set out to do or we started doing the lives hoping to achieve that. And it never occurred to me that we would be in this spot where there is so many viewers who have gotten close to each other by this, by participating in the group. It's wonderful. Let's get ready for memberships. Holy cow. Love this platform. Fear not, dear. It's crazy. I dear organ donation. I wouldn't want to pass addiction to anyone. Please give me your thoughts. I have to renew license in May. I dear organ donation. I see that the D and the F key are right real close together. So I'm going to say that you fear organ donation, and that's what you're trying to say. All right, we have new members thanks to Nicole, Shelly, Anita, Teresa, and Ashley. Welcome. It is awesome that Nux does this. I love it when Nux does this too, Deidre. It's such a it's such like a boost of kindness and so I want to tell you guys about something. Some of you have already told, and those of you that are storytellers, those of you that have shared stories with us already, you're probably aware that we do this thing, and so just hmm. All right, so I think I need to take the handle off of the drawer in the center of my desk because it keeps getting hooked around this cable. And now Nux is at it again. Raven Knight, Naomi, Chrissy, Marcia, Danielle, Jules, Indy Nurse, Terry Lyons, Popcorn P, and Vlad Vladalinka Tritsatri. Vladalinka, wait, where are you? So what I wanted to tell you guys about is that what that was is that when we shoot these interviews, we people have asked me if it's hard to hear so much pain and grief, and it's not hard for me. And the reason it's not hard for me, it's kind of cool that it's random though, Nicole. That's that's kind of cool. So as I was saying, we do these interviews. The storyteller is always talking to me, and so people ask if it's difficult, and it's not, because I know what the process does for the storyteller. I know where it's going to take them. I know when it's over what's going to happen, and I know later on when the story gets published here on YouTube, I know what that's going to do for them as well. So I know these these subtle moments of victory that I get to bring them. So I know that's coming, and the reward for me for getting to be a part of that to help the storyteller is far greater than the difficulty of hearing their stories. And so one of the biggest moments is when we're shooting the interview. I'm behind the camera, and the camera's weird. The camera is this box, and the storyteller can't really see the camera. They're looking at a reflection of me, and they're talking to me. And it looks as if it works kind of like a teleprompter. And so in the interview, it looks as if the storyteller is talking right to the audience. So anyway, when it's over, the storyteller is a little bit spent and relieved, I suppose, that it's done. And so I get up and I come around from behind the camera, and usually there's a hug, and that's very nice. And then I reach into my pocket, and I give them one of these, and I say, "This is for you." And this thing happens. Initially, they'll look at it, and you can see them thinking, "Well, I remember these from when I was a kid." And then it clicks, and it's something that, oh, I get it. And so a lot of times I start to cry, but it's a different kind of tears. So it's a way cool moment. And it's such a great symbol. You're hearing this, right, Nicole? It's a great symbol. So what it means is they've done something that will save lives. It's such an awesome moment to just put this simple thing in a storyteller's hand. So I can also tell you these are hard to get. They used to be common, but now not so much. They like if you go someplace like a drugstore, if you go to Walgreens or CVS or wherever, you can find those stupid bags of individually wrapped lifesaver candies. But that's not this. This is cool. This is a window into childhood. And then there's this big giant banner across the front that says lifesavers. When I put them in my pocket before the interview begins, I'm always careful to put it in my pocket so that when I take it out, it's not upside down. So there was this one time, the storyteller that I was interviewing was very I don't know. I don't mean this any kind of derogatory way, but she was very she was kind of uptight and very proper and uh, dressed very well and all of that. And would give the very proper answers to things in almost she did great with the story. I'm not saying that was bad, but in the course of interacting with her before the interview and in general, she was very proper and say please and thank. She was likely to have a pinky sticking out when she drank tea, and very nice person. And so when her interview was over, there was during the interview there was no crying, and that certainly happens with other interviews as well. But there was no crying, and uh, after it was over, as I came around, she very politely said uh, thank you so much for letting me do this. I really appreciate this opportunity. Again, very formal and kind of proper. I put my arm around her and gave her a light little side hug kind of thing. And I took out the lifesavers and I said, "These are for you." And she looked at it and she reached for them and she said, "Oh, thank you very much." And she went to take them and she didn't get it. So I didn't let go. I offered and she took them and pulled and I held on to them. And she looked down at him again and you could see her realize the meaning behind it. And she burst into tears. Not, she didn't start crying. She burst into tears, hugged me again. It was an awesome moment. All right, so let me catch up. Such a powerful moment, such a powerful message. Just handing someone that, yeah, it is. It is. It's kind of brilliant, right? It is. I think it's brilliant. So way cool. I love lifesavers. How do I do the accept gift thing next? That's a good question. That's a YouTube channel or your YouTube account, your channel setting. My aunt Elsa always kept butterscotch lifesavers in her purse. I had forgotten until I started watching TPD. Butterscotch lifesavers. Yeah, I remember my grandparents had butterscotch hard candy. It wasn't lifesavers, but they had this bowl of hard candy. Yeah, yeah. I wish people like that would just relax and not be so bougie. It's okay to be nice and transparent and speaking and expressing themselves. That's cool. She was grateful. She was. I'm. I am not complaining about her at all. It's just in her nature to present herself that way. But it was way cool to to see her let go. Special moments like that happen on the set all the time. I always say if I can make one person smile and feel noticed every day, my goal is reached. More than one, that is most amazing. I love to make people laugh. Maybe that's why her demeanor was a little odd. Is there an address you could post? I could order you a box of the rolls of lifesavers. Well, yeah, there is. There is. You can send them to our company address on our website. If you go to our website, texas-pictures.com, there is an address at the bottom of the page. There's our website, texas-pictures.com. And uh, you are certainly welcome to send us some lifesavers. We order them from Amazon. You can order from Amazon and have them shipped to that address. That'd be ideal, I suppose. And Nux, you make me smile every chat. Me too, Nux, and so do you, Brenda. You all make me smile. Haven't seen any troll types in a while. Man. So Nux, I have a question for you. You heard the whole lifesaver story, right? I'm just checking. All right. Absolutely, Deidre. Everyone, go ahead. Go ahead, Wood. I don't know what you're saying, Nux. You heard the lifesaver story, right? If you didn't, you're gonna have to watch the live again. And okay, very good. I just want to make sure you heard it, right? So it is a great symbol. There's all kinds of ways that people can be lifesavers with the actions that they choose to take, like sharing a story, sharing a story with our viewers, with our audience. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you heard it. For some reason. And thanks for making me feel a part of something bigger than my disease of addiction. Well, holy cow, Brenda, you are a part of lots of things. There are people, there is people here, there is 29 people in this group right now, and there is only 6 or 7 that are actively communicating here. The rest of them are just listening. And even though they haven't said anything, they learn from what you share here. So they are people you're reaching without them ever letting you know. It's their choice, and this is live. So if someone is watching on their television, which about almost half of our audience from watches on a TV. The other half watches on a computer or on their phone, but Almost half, 46%, I believe, is what the YouTube analytics said. About 46% watch using their television, using a smart TV. And there's not a way to participate in a live chat watching on a TV. But for anyone who's watching on a TV, there is a way. There is a way to participate. And the way to participate would be to watch on your phone at the same time. You can watch on the TV and then interact with the chat through your phone. Because chances are your phone's right there beside you, right? Well, thank you, Nicole. I never thought to look at it this way. Many people are only comfortable observing. That's, yeah, or only capable of observing. If they're watching on a TV, which 46% of our audience watches on a TV, there isn't a way for them to type in messages on a TV. 11 likes, my bad. Hit those thumbs up. You tell them, Deidre. Good job. So I had a couple of things lined up that I was going to share, but clearly the audio isn't working. So maybe next time we will figure out a way to make that happen. So I'd like some feedback from you guys. So what kind of things are missing? What kind of topics? The goal of our channel is to share stories that matter. That's really kind of broad. Some kinds of stories that there's certainly tons of stories that aren't much of a good fit. I think that stories, if someone likes to dress up like a basset hound, more power to them, but that's not really a story that matters in the way that we envision. Buttons wanted to put her thumb in. Oh, that's cute with the paw prints there. That's good. I'm just thankful to be a part of this channel, the beautiful chat, and just encouraging each other. So, huh. So I don't know if you saw that, Nux, but there was just a little bit of a change to uh, your thing here. Not our vibe. Bassett cross dressers. Yeah, yeah. See, I don't. When I say stories that matter, I don't mean I don't mean to belittle something that is important to someone. Uh, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to find a good way to say it without referring to some potential topics as just being silly or a little bit exploitive or a little bit like what you would find in a carnival sideshow. We don't do that. We tell stories that matter. All right, Voodoo, are you the only one filming and editing? No, I am the only one filming. I've done every interview. I do I do some editing on every story, but we also have right now we have 4 part-time editors who do work for us per project, and typically you'll find their name at the end of the story in the credits, and they are all gold. All right, looky there. You got a new There's a new color, and you got this wrench thing that means you can repair cars. That's awesome. Okay, so yes, I do all the interviews. I do all the interviews, and I edit some of. I'm the last pass on the editing. Another editor does the initial pass, organizes the story, does the bulk of the work, and then I just go through and I make some tweaks. I may change the motion that's applied to a photograph that's in the story, or adjust the timing a little bit. Uh, so it's a very cooperative operation, and there's much more to it than just the technical stuff. My wife is oftentimes with me on the set, and she helps me set up. She's not a video person, but she's going to become one. She knows how to deal with light stands, and we use this softbox kind of diffuser that's a little bit of a nuisance to set up. And she knows the basics of setting up the microphone, which is typically on a boom, and all of that kind of cool stuff. And it's a very cooperative thing. So there you go, Voodoo. That's how it happens. It makes me think that you might be uh, uh, a, a video person, someone who. I'll just. Okay, then. I just had to holler at the dog. Deidre, I didn't understand. I didn't understand the question. Did I miss a question? Brenda, what is that? I think it's true. I think that Deidre was asking Brenda not our about her comment, not our vibe, and then Brenda expanded on it. But anyway, Deidre, I don't understand the what is question. Barrett crossdresser, Basset Hound crossdresser. That was the reference that I made. That I don't know. I should have. That's, that's all right. So, I have no idea what it is. I don't know. So is there other questions about the technical stuff? We developed a pretty cool system and format. I feel like it's very effective, and it's an environment that puts people at ease when they come in and sit down. The topic's not easy, clearly, but the environment is. That when Thank you, Voodoo. Very, very, very grateful. That's awesome. So the environment is. I don't know what'll happen if I launch this. I think it'll be okay. We'll see. We'll see in a minute. Maybe it'll be okay. Oh, look, here it comes. All right. So I can show you a little bit of the set. I think I'll be able to show you. Okay. I don't care. Okay, so we're coming over here, and I can show you guys. Hmm. Well, I thought I could. Oh, I remember now. All right. See, it's just too complicated for me. I got to figure this computer stuff out. All right, here we go. So this is what our set looks like. The camera is in that weird box on the tripod. And the storyteller looking at the box sees a reflection of my face. So they don't actually see me at all. So that's what the set looks like. Voodoo, way to go. I will pray for you. Tapping the thumbs up and sharing the live are free ways to spread the channel and awareness. Listen to Knox, such the awesome cheerleader for the channel. I'm so grateful for all of you. Grateful for all of you. Very much so. We are coming up on the 50-minute mark, and we're going to wrap it up in 10 minutes or so. What other kind of questions? Again, voodoo. That's really so awesome. We Well, I can tell you with how the channel works is we don't have any funding. We have no sponsors, no grants, no client, nothing except what happens on YouTube. We have things like what Voodoo did and what Nux does and what a lot of you have done, what you members have done. It's wonderful. And we have the revenue from the commercials, the advertising. And I get that the advertising can be a nuisance, but it is also what makes it all sustainable for us. That we're able to do all of this without being accountable. Uh, what's a shame, Deidre? What's a shame? Because I do not think it's a shame. It is an awesome spot to be in. We are not accountable to anyone. No client, no client lawyers, no nobody except the storyteller and the audience. And that's a sweet spot to be in. I know broadcast journalists who would be envious of this spot that we're in. But we don't have to worry anything about we don't have to if we had sponsors. And the sponsor who would sponsor us? Maybe a company. Thank you, Voodoo. Maybe someone like this. would sponsor us, or maybe one of the competitors like Cloxotto or one of the others. There's quite a few out there, and there's new ones coming. In fact, we're even developing an idea for a story about a new one. Uh, but then, if they're sponsors, would they want to interfere? If we had grant money, if we were funded by grants, if we were funded by grants, there is an accountability process that you have to keep jumping into in the grant process that is time consuming and restricts the approach that you take to whatever you're doing based on the guidelines of the grant. So this spot we're in, where the we have a little bit of accountability to YouTube, of course, and we have to be considerate of what YouTube advertisers are going to want to put advertising with, but that's not difficult, and that's not really content specific in that kind of way. But we have sorry, I got lost in the comments over here because I keep looking down here because that's where the comments are. So I have to read them now and then, make sure I'm not missing something. But I know I missed stuff. So Deidre, I know that there's ways that you can give. I know there's gift things that you can do on our channel, and you're welcome to do that or not. And we have a Venmo thing if you want to send us something that way. But word of mouth, doing the thumbs up thing, commenting on the stories, that is so important. So back to the channel and about sponsors and all of that. We don't have any, and that's an awesome place to be because we are free to develop content that is important based solely on the audience and what we feel is important or what we feel the audience might care about. So we have the fentanyl poisoning series, and that series makes everything sustainable. But we also have a series on addiction recovery, and we have a series on human trafficking, and we're developing a series on domestic violence. And we're developing a series on cannabis-induced psychosis, that we're learning about it and heading down that path because it stands out to me as something I hadn't heard about it until recently. And it seems like it's an important thing to generate debate about. So we're doing that. We're going to Denver in June. We also have a series called American Peace Officer. And American Peace Officer is a series that is the idea behind the series is to humanize law enforcement. I realize that there are a lot of stories in our fentanyl series that have quite a different impact on law enforcement reputation, that don't humanize law enforcement, but criticize them. And That's important too. If something merits criticism, law enforcement agencies draw from the same pool of potential employees as everybody else, and so just like everybody else, you wind up with employees that aren't very good. Yeah, that happens. So, so, holy cow, there's a lot to catch up on here. Okay, and so the the American Peace Officer series is there's a playlist in our playlists called American Peace Officer. In the course of the last 18 years, I've done a lot of ride-alongs with law enforcement agencies, and what I discovered is that cops have stories. Go figure. Lots of stories. And most of them have a few stories that are topics that have stayed with them through the years, topics that are particularly inspiring or particularly tragic. And so our series focuses on that. I would love for you guys, some of you regular suspects, but any of the others as well, I would love for you to watch one episode in particular. There's a lot of really good episodes, but there's one. I'm going to get the link. This story, I'm adding the link right now. It's just a link, but I'll give you the title. The story is called "The Man on the Bridge," and the story is about a Houston police officer who was on his way home and found a 17-year-old young man standing on a high flyover bridge ramp, and and he tells the story of what happened. And it'd be great for you guys to watch this. So maybe next time we can talk about it a little bit. It was an awesome story to me. So okay, let me catch up, kids. Have you seen it, Brenda? Okay, I'm going back a little bit. Brenda, only at 7 months. 7 months is amazing. Congrats to you and everyone else too. Trust me, it took many, many years to get more than a couple of days for me. It's work, but it's worth it. You tell them, Shelly. Good, good job. So, Shelly, we do have a series on addiction recovery. It has, I think it's at 41 stories now. I'm not sure, but there's some really, really great stories of victory in that series. Next, just proud of Shelly for her sobriety. Of course, Brenda stopped using the word only 7 months. By gosh, you are 7 months clean. That is amazing. She's right. 7 months is a giant deal. 7 weeks is a giant deal too. And you got 7 weeks over and over and over. Shelly, thank you. It feels amazing. I had decided God needed me. I had decided God needed me to die in active addiction. And then September 4th, it happened. I'm grateful. And I even have good days now and then. Come on, Brenda. Aren't you having a little bit of a good day right now? Maybe. Not because of me, but because of the group and maybe. Deidre, I would love to educate people on that subject, meaning cannabis induced psychosis. It's strange. I'm learning about it, and it's very interesting. And I am, but I don't have that. I don't have that sense of being informed. The way that I feel like I'm pretty informed about fentanyl related issues. I feel like I'm pretty informed about addiction recovery issues and pretty informed about impaired driving and domestic violence. That those are things that I've done enough content related to feel informed about those. So I'm still learning about cannabis and the aspects of cannabis. It's fascinating to me the way that people will leap to the defense of cannabis regardless of what the content is about. And it just doesn't it doesn't quite make sense to me that whole the term for it in behavioral issues is called it's called confirmation bias. Is that people tend to look to find things to believe that suit what they already believe, and I think some of that leaping to conclusions, leaping to defense, is that same kind of thing. Deidre, where are you? I know I should probably know that. We hear from people from different parts of the country every day, just every day. Probably in a week, we probably get 10 inquiries from somewhere, someone wanting to have us come to their area and share and give people a chance to share stories. Brenda is going to do her best to eradicate the word only from her vocabulary. Okay. Good job, at least in that context. It's okay to use the word only when it is positive, when it's optimistic, when you're talking about something, I don't know, constructive. Uh-huh. I only work on Fridays. Now, see, that's a great way to, great use of the word only. Can't imagine how that would actually pan out, but, you know, anyway, sorry. I would love you to do a video. It would be awesome. Deidre, we can help you out if you want to educate you. We have the channel. We can do your story. We also have contacts with people in different fentanyl awareness organizations, and they have contact. It's crazy how far reaching the contacts can go. So we can help you out. Wouldn't that be awesome? Oh yes, I've been watching. This truly keeps me sober. Thank you, Shelley. Wow, people tell me that now and then. Deidre is in Oklahoma, close to Dallas. I remember that now because I remember whenever I see a phrase like close to Dallas, I always kind of think, ew, but that's just me. So we're going to be on a road trip. We talked about that before. I know we're going to be on a road trip to Denver and possibly, I believe we're also shooting stories in Wichita, Kansas. And so only if Brenda's by my side. Well, you know, you guys can help coordinate that. You can email me and we can coordinate it together, and we can meet somewhere, and I'll time my travels so that it's lunchtime or something when I'm passing through the area where we're going to meet. Brenda says, quitting is the hardest thing I've ever done. And I have done some pretty amazing stuff, but nothing even comes close to the pride I feel in quitting fentanyl. Good. Awesome. That's awesome. Deidre says, Brenda, you're the best. I think you're talking, I don't know who you're talking to. I just say, you're the best. Could be me. I don't know. But you guys should watch American Peace Officer. You know, it's the series has never gotten much attention, but the story, the man on the bridge, it's powerful. And the officer who tells the story is my friend. And it's there's an extra challenge to creating stories like that with law enforcement officers because there is command staff involved. It typically involves getting some approval. So the process is a little bit more challenging, but that's just part of it. American Peace Officer has 7 episodes right now, and a couple of other videos, some of it really short. One called "The Demons Still Visit" that is really good, and this guy, the storyteller's name is Larry Hawkins. He's a friend of mine too, and he's starting his own channel, doing things that have to do with cold cases and murder investigations, and he's creating interviews with his peers, and he's very well connected and knows a lot of information about a lot of cases, cold cases. It's going to be a really cool series, and I'm helping him out a little bit with that. I'm glad to be doing it. I'm in Kentucky. Okay, so for those of you who haven't seen this lately, here is. Oh, I did it wrong. What happened? There we go. I don't know. This is where we shot stories in. Look. There's a star in Kentucky. I see it. I'm going to email Glenn. Give me your email address. No pressure. If you guys are all on Facebook, we can also do it that way. So if you're on Facebook, you can friend me on Facebook, and we can make one of those group chat things going. That's got all the folks who want to try to meet up in Dallas or wherever for lunch, and that'll be a cool thing. So Shelley, you're in Kentucky. See, we've been to Kentucky. We shot stories. We shot fentanyl related stories in Kentucky. We also shot stories for Mothers Against Drunk Driving in Kentucky about 4 years ago, back during COVID. We did this giant. My wife and I did this giant road trip during COVID, and interviewed law enforcement officers and impaired driving victims for a series that we did for MAD. I'm in South Central Kentucky, Bowling Green. It's almost halfway between Louisville and Nashville. We stayed in Nashville. We shot interviews in Louisville. Never had my wife and I. We went to it was a barbecue place on I don't remember what the name of the main drag street was, but the big touristy street with all the nightclubs and bands and all of that. We had dinner at one of those places. Yes. Uh, we can come to Mississippi. We can come anywhere. Yeah, I can walk you through uh, how how it works. There's a page on our website. I don't know why it's showing that, but okay. Appears that we're doing fine. So there's a page on our website, not not on our YouTube channel, but on our website. There's a page that's devoted to explaining how Storytelling Summit works. So here's the link to that page. And all of the summits that we've had, all of the storytelling summits anywhere, except for that first one, the first one where we shot the first 14 or so stories in the series, that one was for the DEA. The DEA hired us to do those, and because they took off, we kept doing it. Smoky Pig. No, I don't know. Could have been. I was going to show you guys something. So, okay, we're going back to this. The every location on here, including, but there's also 3 locations in northern Florida that are missing. I just need to update the graphic, and I haven't done that. Every location on here started with one person who contacted us and asked us to come to their area. From that, they they looked at the link that I posted in the chat, and we have some simple needs as far as the space that we do the interviewing in. A lot of times we've recorded stories in church sanctuaries, in conference rooms, in businesses. Uh, a couple of times in actual studios. We've used classrooms. Even one time we shot stories in a funeral home. Certainly awkward, but it was good and quiet. So so the key things to having a storytelling summit anywhere is having a location and having some people that would be interested in sharing their story. It doesn't need to be a full schedule. Once we start setting things up, we'll post announcements on our channel and on Facebook. And from there, more people wind up signing up for the summits. And so it just goes that way. So Mississippi, yeah, Joan, sure. I was a lot of times I okay. I've done 3 road trips that involve passing through Mississippi on fentanyl related summits, and I do that because there's a friend of mine from high school who lives in Mississippi. He lives in Jackson, and I try to make stopping off for a day or two at his place every chance I get. So even if it's a little out of the way. So I've been in there and uh, Owensboro, and I can't remember the name. I don't. You're killing me. I got to ask my wife, but she probably won't answer because she knows I'm up here live. And so we can do these storytelling summits anywhere. The page on our site explains about how to make a summit happen, and it is not difficult. There's a video that that talks about it. I can share a link about that as well. There's this story right here. It is an 8-minute long video. Pascagoula. Here's a video that is about the storytelling experience, and it has interviews with storytellers, but they're talking about what the experience was like. They're not talking about whatever their story is. So there's stuff going on downstairs. Okay, we ever come to Mississippi? That KY star is Owensboro or E Town. I believe it's 30 minutes from me. Divine intervention, no doubt, Deidre. I truly is. Shelly, yeah. That would be great. I don't know what that would be great goes with, but no, that's not it. I think it's barbecue place. it the place where we ate was well known, like a famous thing. My stepson knew it by name, and he lives here in Houston. I'm in Waveland on the Gulf Coast. That's back in where are we? Are we in? Oh, huh. So it's a funny thing. I'm sure that that people over there don't realize how their voice carries. I'm sorry. The highest OD death rate is in West Virginia. We're going to be doing stories in Norfolk, Virginia in July, I believe is when we set it for. I think it's July. I'm in Waveland. Waveland. Wow. The highest death rate is Virginia. Bowling Green, Kentucky is known for their recovery community. It's massive here. I can get you in contact with parents that have lost kids to fentanyl. Also get people in sobriety. The ideal way for our summits to work is for it to be a ratio of about 3 fentanyl related stories for every one recovery story. That would be ideal to keep our channel doing its thing. I can even set up the place to have the summit. So that's the bulk of the work, Shelly. And we can make it happen, and we could do one in Mississippi on the way or Alabama on the way. So the death, no, she said in Alabama the death rate is almost 32%. 32% of what? I don't, I don't know what that means. Brenda says, Shelley, people are deciding to move to Kentucky just to get clean and stay in the recovery. I found this amazing and finally feels feels like progress is happening. All right, folks. I need to work on keeping your location straight in my head. Matt, we have talked about Alabama, Mississippi, and Kentucky, and that is great stops on a circle kind of tour that we can pretty easily make happen. West Virginia, no, we're going to be in Virginia, and I know they're like, you know, next to each other. So uh, there'll be a sign up for Norfolk, Virginia, in the next day or two, and there'll be an announcement on our YouTube channel and in the Storyteller Facebook group. The Facebook group is a private group. Any of you who want to share your stories and you're on Facebook, you should join the group. The easiest way to join the group is to friend me on Facebook and then send me a Facebook Messenger message. Tell me who you are, as in someone that you're in on the chat on the live event, and that you want to be in the group, and I will send you an invite. It's really that easy, but you can't find the group by searching for it because it's private. The group has a little over 500 members right now, and most of them, virtually all of them, are either people who have shared stories with us or people who want to share stories with us. There's also a couple of people who are in addiction related professions, and there's a couple of law enforcement people, including one of the storytellers in the American Peace Officer series. So there you go. From 2015 to 2021, there were 6,307 deaths from overdoses in Alabama. The state death rate per 100,000 in 2022. It's wow. More than doubling since 2014. In 2021, there were 981. Just the copy and paste from my notes and research. Gina Cole. There's a template for video scripts on our website that you can, if you've got some idea for a story, we can make it happen, because we don't have sponsors, we don't have grants, we don't have anything. So we're in a sweet spot. What have I missed? I will for sure be in contact with you and make it happen. I know the barbecue place. I cannot think of it. They have mutton and all, and they had two stages for bands. I just saw where it said follow. Thank you, Joan. Just copy and paste. Brenda, it really is amazing, and I am thankful to live here where there is literally a meeting every hour somewhere in town, all day and night. Lots of people holding you accountable. Yeah, that accountability is really important. That was one of the things that the drug czar really stressed to us when we interviewed him. Accountability, and also that you have people counting on you for their accountability, and part of doing that is by example. But anyway, it's about time to wrap it up for now. I know that our camera batteries are typically good for about 90 minutes, and it's been almost 90 minutes, so the camera is going to go soon. So we need to wrap it up, but you just search for me by name. What? Wait. I can probably make that happen. Look, here's my name. Ta-da! There it is. So if you just search for me by name and be my friend, and then once we're friends, it's real easy to identify how to send you an invite. But be my friend, then message me, and I will message me in Facebook, and I'll reply uh, with a link or something. Friend me, Glenn. Okay, now you guys are giving me assignments. You're making this tough. Uh, Joan Veronica, I feel like the camera's gonna die soon, so I really need to get out of here. But I will try to send you a friend request as soon as I get out of here. But I want to thank you all again. I want to thank you all again for joining us. It's always such an awesome time to spend time interacting with you guys, and sharing this time. It's such a big deal. So thank you very much. Here's the ways to get in contact with us. Let's see if I can make this happen. Maybe. There we are. All right, folks, you can reach us at info@texas-pictures.com. Our website is also there, texas-pictures.com. And of course, find me on Facebook. So thanks again for everyone joining us. And we will see you again next time.